belief in the. So today we'll talk about NFTs. Yesterday we had a session on tokens. What are tokens? How do they work? A little bit about tokenomics, the history of tokens, money, and how we kind of came about that. We spoke about that yesterday. We spoke about one type of token, popularly known as fungible tokens in the blockchain ecosystem, which is used as a store of value. Uh, most probably used in terms of for transactional purposes, for investment, for savings, etc. Right now, initially when the ecosystem started, there was fungible tokens were the kind of tokens that were more and more popular in the ICO phase in 2016, 2017. There was just like this huge boom where there were so many companies that were creating these tokens associated with the product. Right now, this is a new era. Just couple of years back, we have gotten to know about another type of token called the non-fungible tokens, right? And these are popularly abbreviated as NFTs, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. So the agenda, as I mentioned, is very simple today. We'll just introduce NFTs, how they work, and just talk about NFTs and the communities around them. So for all of you who are new to the Phoenix Guild, we started the Phoenix Guild because our mission is to create a diverse and inclusive Web3 ecosystem. Our long-term vision is to create opportunities for women and the underrepresented folks in the Web3 ecosystem to take up more and more projects and leadership opportunities, positions in Web3. The Phoenix Guild was started by four of us, Krati, me, Sri Lakshmi, and Nivedita, and this was supported by the Ocean Dow grant initially. What do? We conduct onboarding sessions for women in various Web3 topics. We create and bring opportunities in the form of grants, bounties, etc. We want to specifically mentor women to attempt these opportunities and encourage them to create a space in the whole Web3 ecosystem. And going forward, we'll also be conducting boot camps and immersive sessions for various domains. So I think there is a lot of questioning around who this specifically group is for, and who can join the group or who can be a part of this initiative. The simple answer is everyone. Anyone and everyone who's interested in learning about Web3 and the Web3 ecosystem is open. We are not biased. We want to be inclusive, and we want to be mindful that this space is very new. So we are happy to open this up for anyone and everyone, but we specifically want to support more and more women to come into the ecosystem. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's get started with NFTs. If you see this image, if you have known about this image earlier, or if you're familiar with the artist popularly known as Beeple, right? This image was sold for a really, really high price. And this was a couple of months ago in 2021. And this created like a huge, I would say, inquisitiveness and curiosity about NFTs, right? So I have this number in INR, but I think it was over $1 million. From what I can remember, that this NFT got sold for 5063085,450 INR, right? So this was over $1 million from what I remember. This NFT that was sold is nothing but a picture. This picture is internally a collage of multiple other pictures of this artist called Beeple. It's titled The First 5,000 Days. So there are 5,000 days and pictures that the artist has either created or taken over 5,000 days, a collage of all that, and one picture comprising of the collage. This was sold at a popular auction house called Christie's. Of course, this was sold online. The difference between this and any other online image that we create is that the ownership of this image has been registered on blockchain. So in the previous session, we spoke a little bit about tokens themselves being digital assets, right? So this in itself is a digital asset. The ownership of this digital asset is recorded on blockchain, right? So that's what was different between this being a simple JPEG versus this being an NFT. And once this sale happened, a lot of other different popular NFT marketplaces, NFT communities started coming into limelight with the kind of work that they're doing, right? Before we dive into NFTs themselves, let's just refresh what we spoke about assets yesterday, right? Assets and asset digitization. So, what is an asset? Asset is something that is useful and valuable. It could be an object, an expertise, a cryptocurrency. It could be a digital asset. It could be a physical asset. What do we do with assets? We can use these assets to trade, we can exchange these assets, or we can provide some kind of value using these assets, right? Now, what is asset digitization? Asset digitization is creating a digital version of any kind of asset, right? So if we think of a physical painting, for example, I have a physical painting. This is visible, I don't know. So this is a physical asset. Once I convert this and make a digital copy of this, that is, I can take this asset and find it digitally, find it on the internet. That's what it means to have a digital asset, right? For example, documents, tradable goods can be digitized by creating a digital equivalent of them, and images like this, right, which are something different. So, keeping in mind these two concepts is how we can think of a digital asset, right? So, NFTs, or popularly known as non fungible tokens, are digital assets. That is one thing we have to keep in mind, right? They are not physical assets. If we have physical assets that need to be made NFTs, we need to create a digital copy of them. That's the only way we can store information about that on blockchain. Of course, there are a couple of other more complicated ways, but to simplify, we need to ensure that there is a digital mark of that particular asset. Now, a quick to just tell a brief difference between non-fungible and fungible assets, right? Fungible assets have the ability to be swapped evenly with an asset of the same type. So, for example, money, right? For example, we have US dollars, or we have INR. Each of them can be swapped for one another, right? So, they are interchangeable. And non-fungible assets are assets that cannot be interchanged, right? So, each of these, the painting that we just saw, or rather this particular painting, imagine a digital version of this, right? This cannot be interchanged with another painting of the same type. Why is that, right? And what is the inherent quality that is given to these kind of non-fungible assets? Why do you think a particular asset can become an NFT, right? It's because of the fact that they cannot be interchanged. Let me give you a simple example. If suppose you have lasagna, right? This is an example that I remember from an earlier talk, a very fun one. There are two chefs who are making lasagnas, right? They may be following the same recipes, they may be using the same ingredients, or they may be following a different recipe. Right? The end product is lasagna, right? Now, when both of these chefs are making lasagna and they present it in front of you, even though both are the assets are labeled the same, right? And you know what that asset is supposed to be, both are lasagnas, they still cannot be interchanged. Why? Because the creator of that asset gives that asset a unique value and some kind of add on to that asset, right? So when somebody's chef A is preparing lasagna, they may add some kind of different ingredient, they may have a secret ingredient, the way they prepare the sauce might be different, the way they layer the lasagna sheets might be different, versus chef B, who might be doing things differently, right? So even though the end product, or the final the label of that product is the same, these are assets that cannot be interchanged. So whenever we think about non fungible assets, or NFTs, We have to think about them as products that are unique, right? That's what makes them special. Now, let's take a look at what are NFTs and how is it related to blockchain and the Web3 ecosystem, right? Now, NFTs can represent a digital asset that is unique in nature. So, whatever we have been talking about so far, right? One is that the asset should be digital in nature, and second is that it should be unique, right? So, whenever we think we see all these paintings or we see these different caricatures, if you see, all of them are unique in nature, right? It could be because of the way they have been produced, it could be because of the way they have designed, it could be because of the creator, the way the creator has created those assets, right? So NFTs represent a digital asset that is unique in nature. Now, the ownership of the NFTs is recorded on blockchain. That means all the ownership related details, that is, who owns this NFT, at what time was this NFT created, when was this NFT transferred between whom to whom, what, and so on. The whole life cycle. The ownership of NFTs is recorded on blockchain using digital agreements called smart contracts. So smart contracts are nothing but a piece of logic, or a piece of business logic that is written in a programming language, depending on a particular blockchain. And the ownership of the NFTs is recorded on the blockchain using these smart contracts. Now, what is why blockchain and why it is important to record the ownership on blockchain is because the ownership can be easily transferred and traded online using these secure blockchain contracts. So, when you want to move a digital asset from one owner to another, or you want to trade them, it is very easy to do so on blockchain because the underlying smart contracts will ensure that the correct ownership reflects. Now, why are NFTs becoming popular, right? And why is everybody wanting to create NFTs, own NFTs, or they want to receive an NFT airdrop, right? Because NFTs have brought about a way of creating digital ownership of scarce material, right? So essentially, when we think of NFTs, it's not just about the paintings or the art, right? Nowadays, NFTs are also acting as community. You want to enter into a specific community, right? That community can token gate using NFTs. So if you own a particular community NFT, you're owning the exclusive right to be able to participate in that community. For example, a popular community called Developer DAO, they produced X number of NFTs and they told that you can mint these NFTs. They released a couple of them, I think 5,000 or so. And only those who have that NFT can actually participate in the developer DAO community. So NFTs are not just unique pieces of art, but they're also becoming a way to be a part of a community, right? Either by holding them or by by buying them or by trading them, whatever way it is that you are able to have the NFT reflect in your wallet, right? Okay. Before we go to the three C's of NFT, where if you're curious about where the NFTs are stored, right? NFTs are stored the same way your fungible. Like I said in our previous session, we spoke about wallets and what are stored in wallets. All types of tokens are stored in your wallets, right? So even NFTs are a type of token only, though they are non-fungible in nature, they are still a type of token, and NFTs can be stored in your regular wallet. So if you have a MetaMask wallet or if you have a Trust wallet, you can just store an NFT into that wallet. However, to view that NFT, you may have to use particular sites or special wallets that allow you to view the NFTs. Now, quick three C's of NFTs that you have to always remember. Whenever you're thinking about an NFT project, whether you're thinking about getting into that community, or whether you're thinking about starting your own NFT project, or whether you're wondering how I can get started in this space, the first C is creativity, right? there are a lot of people who are doing caricatures, who are doing generative art. I will show you a bunch of examples mostly in today's talk. That's what we will do. We will look at different types of examples and we will understand. But the idea now, the NFT, because the NFT domain or the NFT space is slowly starting to mature, you have to start thinking of ideas that could be out of the box, right? Why should somebody buy an NFT from you? Why should somebody invest in your project, right? So think of all the things we spoke about in terms of the uniqueness of the digital asset, the ownership of that digital asset, that it should be scarce, right? Create something that people would want to own. So you have to bring out the best in terms of creativity, right? How can you create something, or how can you create an ecosystem wherein the NFT that you're producing, people would want to own that, right? So think on those lines. The second and the most important one for any NFT project is community, right? So you need to work on building a community around the story that you're telling, around the project that you're building, right? So you need to build a community and talk about why this particular NFT. For example, there is I attended a Twitter space recently, and there was this woman who started her NFT collection recently, and she believes that she wants to save endangered species, right? So she's very passionate about that, and her NFTs reflect that. So her NFTs are all like endangered species of birds and some animals. She's very passionate about that. So the way she can tell the story, others in the community can relate to it, right? So that's how you should build your NFT project as well. Try to build a story around that particular project. What is something that you are passionate about, and why should the community think, or why should the community join your NFT project? Why should they think that this would be helpful for them, or this would be useful for them, right? And the third, again, it's quite important as well to be consistent. That is, you can't just create your NFTs and then just put them up for sale and leave them, right? You need to interact consistently with the community, and you have to keep on reminding them that what your mission is, what your vision is, and why this entire NFT, why owning this entire NFT collection should matter both to them and to you, right? So these are the three C's of NFTs that you should always remember. The popular NFT standards. Yesterday also we took a look at this in yesterday's session. So the popular NFT standards on Ethereum blockchain are ERC 721 and ERC 1155. Right. So ERC 721 are used for unique or scarce kind of one of a kind of NFTs, whereas ERC 1155 could be used to bulk mint the same type of NFTs when you have some other use case like community ownership, or you want to airdrop a lot of NFTs to different people who are a part of your community, just to appreciate the work they're doing and things like that. In order to reduce gas fees, you can use the ERC 115 standard to bulk mint multiple NFTs. Now, how do the NFTs go up for sale? What is the mechanism behind this, right? So whenever you create an NFT, right, there are a couple of steps. There are two steps, right, that are required to just create an NFT. The first is having an NFT contract, right? What happens when you deploy an NFT contract, or when you create an NFT contract, is you are saying that if you create an ERC 721 based contract, you're saying that my NFT will follow the ERC 721 standard. If you are creating an ERC 1155 based contract, you are saying that my NFTs will follow ERC 1155 based standard. So the first thing to do is for the NFT creator or owner to deploy an NFT standard contract on the blockchain. While you deploy this contract, you can provide a name and a symbol for that particular NFT. Okay? That's how it will be known. The next, once you have deployed the contract, doesn't mean you have created an NFT. Once you have deployed the contract, you need to mint the tokens, right? So the next step is called minting the tokens. Minting is nothing but, you can think of it as creation, right? So the next step is to mint your piece of art or collectible, right? And you can mint them using, there is a mint function within the contract. Using that function, you can create these NFTs or you can mint these NFTs. And once you have minted them, you can write some business logic inside your NFT contract, right? To sell those collectibles or put them up on sale by setting a price for them. Now, the sale can be just a direct sale that you put up a price and it gets bought for that, or it can be an auction based setup that you can do, that I will auction this NFT, minimum price should be this much, and I will wait for people to bid on that NFT, and you can set a time period for the auction, etc. Right? So this is what happens at the back end. However, if you are just an artist or a creator, you don't really have to do all of this. And there are platforms called NFT marketplaces which will take care of these aspects for you, right? That's our next segment, where we are going to do a small demo on how you can mint an NFT on an existing marketplace, right? The prerequisites for this demo are to download a MetaMask wallet. If you don't have a MetaMask wallet, I request you all to download one. If you are not familiar with MetaMask wallet, it would be a fox like this. So you can just, so it's a Chrome extension. You also have let me see my, okay. I hope my screen is visible now. Okay. So there is a MetaMask. Oh, this is a community. Sorry. So MetaMask has a Chrome extension that you can download, or you can it even has a mobile application, so you can use that. So up to you, whatever you feel comfortable. Here is the Chrome extension link. So I would request, if you want to follow along with the demo, please add the MetaMask Chrome extension to your Chrome, or you can use it on your mobile as well. And we will follow this link called testnets.rinkaby or testnets.opensea.io, right? So this is OpenSea.io is a popular marketplace. I would say there are a lot of controversies on OpenSea as well, with respect to some kind of insider fraud that is happening. So some people like OpenSea, some people don't like OpenSea, but this is one of the platforms which is has been there for quite a while, and it gives you a testnet feature, so you can try out the whole minting process without having to use real money, right? So if you so we'll just do a quick demo of how the whole NFT minting process works. So if you have the MetaMask wallet installed, right? I think some of you or most of you may already have. You will have to switch to a test net called Rinkeby. Rinkeby. This is a test network. What are test networks? Test networks mimic your exact blockchain, right? So Rinkeby is a test network of the Ethereum blockchain. They mimic the blockchain and they allow you to check your logic, or to perform your transactions without having to actually, buy original Ethereum. So I'm going to, I have my, yeah, I'm just going to disconnect from this one. Disconnect, disconnect, and I'm just going to keep one account, that is this one. So I have some test ETH in this, right? If you don't have test ETH on your test account, please send me your addresses and I can send you some test ETH. It will not be you will not need too much of it for the transaction, but if you already have, that's great. You can also create your MetaMask wallets and send your test ETH to our send your address to me on our Telegram group, and I will send you some test ETH. Nivedita, I think you have joined, right? Can you post the Telegram group link for anyone who might have joined us new, or anyone who's not there on the Telegram group? Feel free to shoot your addresses to me on Telegram group, and I will send you the test ETH. Once you have the test ETH, it is very okay. Before we create our own, let's explore a little bit, right? As to what are the different types of NFTs. So NFTs can fall under different types. So the most popular ones are, of course, under the art category. So you can see that there are NFTs that have been created by a lot of different types of creators. Some of the popular type of NFTs are which are becoming very expensive. Is one of them is this collection called Bored Ape Yacht Club. So this basically has, a bunch of bored apes. So that is apes which look bored, right? So these are these are based on generative art, these NFTs. What it means is, once you click on a particular NFT, you can see the different properties of this particular NFT. Let me show you here. So you can see that they have properties like a background, they have some clothing, they have an eye, they have a fur, hat, mouth, etc. Right? So they have different types of properties, and these properties of the NFTs are algorithmically generated, right? So that's why they are called generative NFTs, right? So, and you could also do like generative art, where you are generating the different properties of a particular piece of art, and you can associate these properties with that particular piece of art, and you can generate multiple types of the same. So basically you just need a base image. On that base image you can apply the different types of properties using generative algorithms, right? So this is becoming one of the really popular types of NFTs called generative art, right? Now let's see some more examples of this. I think it's called Pachi Penguins. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me this one doodles. Yeah. So here again you can see another type of generative art, which is like doodles. They have 10,000 unique type of, yeah, 10,000 doodles. You can see there are hundreds of exciting visual traits designed by Burnt Toast. Hand drawn doodles include skellies, cats, aliens. I don't know what all of these things, right? So now you have, now see here, what I want you to notice is, owning a doodle allows you to vote on community driven features, products, and events. This makes our roadmap collaborative, to be decided by the project founders and doodle holders via the Doodle Bank. So they are giving you some utility for holding this particular doodle. Now there is also one more popular NFT platform called Nouns, right? Nouns DAO. What they do is they mint one noun every day, right? And they put it up for sale, and those who own this particular noun, right, one noun every day forever, those who own this, they will have some governance. They will have some say in how this particular project can move forward. You can see how each of them are extremely expensive. It's like 55 ETH, right? And you can also see the governance, how it is happening, right? What does it mean to hold this particular token? What it means is you can vote on what are the different things that should happen in this project, right? So they have whatever money they get out of the bid for this particular piece of noun, right? They will put it in something called treasury, right? So what happens in the treasury, what happens within the treasury amount is, you can see how much is there in the treasury and stuff. Everything is pretty transparent, right? You can see that how much is there in their treasury, the net worth is 19172, etc. And what they are doing with the treasury is, you can apply for a grant saying that I want to use X amount of money in the treasury to do this. I want to create a mobile app for the Nouns DAO. I want to create some enhancement for the Nouns DAO, right? So, and if other noun holders like your proposal and they vote on it, then you will get part of the money from this treasury, right? So that's the way to provide value to the community that is holding particular NFTs. So you have to think about how the people who are holding your NFTs of your project can get value from whatever they are holding, right? So it should be very decentralized and not at all just like you sell the NFTs, you make the money and you run away, right? That way it won't work, not in the current ecosystem. Now, a quick exploration, or let's create our own NFT, right? So it asked me for a MetaMask notification. Let's see. Sorry, mind. So it asked me to sign, right? So why has it asked? So now there was a recent hack on MetaMask. That's why I encourage everybody to read what it is asking you to do, right? So it says, welcome to OpenSea. Click to sign in and accept the OpenSea terms of service. This request will not trigger a blockchain transaction or cost any gas fee. This is just a signature. So there is an underlying function called each sign that is going behind this transaction. So it should not charge you any money. The moment it charges any money, right, that means there is something wrong, right? So you have to be prepared and also know what wallet address it is picking. Is this your wallet address, right? So I'm going to sign. Okay. Because this is testnet, it's fine. I don't really worry, but you have to always be careful whenever MetaMask asks you for any signature or any transaction, right? Recently, there was a huge hack because of which $120 million were lost because the hacker tweaked something on MetaMask, actually from the front end. So now it is very simple to create an NFT. I can just use an image that I want to upload, right? I have this GIF that I used in our yesterday's session. So I'm just going to upload this and I'm going to say women rock or something like that. And then I'm going to have, so if I want an external URL, which will provide more details about this, I can do that. So for example, if I want to give a Twitter link to our Phoenix skill, right? So I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to put it up here, right? So users can click to learn more about it, right? So this is a GIF. Okay. That shows lots of women. Okay. Yeah, I'm just randomly putting up something. I can create a collection if I want. So right now I don't want to create a collection. This collection would mean that under one umbrella, I'm having multiple NFTs, right? So a collection of NFTs. So here I can also add manually the properties, right? Like I can add clothes, dresses, right? The type of, or I can add age, senior, I can say gender. So basically, the properties that you saw of the NFTs, the different traits, I'm just adding, couple of them, right? So I'm going to say save. So this is fine. You can add multiple things. You can read up on this. Depending on the type of NFT, you can add more and more stuff. So I can also set this as explicit and sensitive content if I feel. The number of items that can be minted, right? So I'm just going to say one of a kind. I can mint multiple as well. So if I have to mint multiple, I have to choose another type of NFT, right? So I'm just going to say one here and I'm going to create. So now there are the different steps that I told you, right? The first step is an NFT contract. Now, because this is a marketplace, they have already created an NFT contract, right? And this now the second step is that they will be minting. So they will create the NFT contract and mint this NFT for us, right? So this NFT of mine is already created. So when I see, I can see the properties here, right? And when I say the token contract, you can see here, once I click on this, I can see that there is a particular contract, NFT contract, that is already there for this particular token. You can see that the contract name is OpenSea Collections, right? So they already have a contract that is deployed, and they are minting this token, right? Minting this NFT as a token, right? Now, what does it mean by a token is that here you can see there is a token ID associated with this particular NFT, right? So they have minting will result in creating a unique ID for that particular image on blockchain, or for that particular asset on blockchain, known as a token ID. So you can see that there is a token ID. It is a huge number, right? Because they use some random strings behind to create it. The token standard that they have used for creating my NFT is 1155, right? One of the two standards. 1155 costs less gas. So we have used this one. They have internally used that. It's fine. It's just a test one. And the blockchain that it's been created on is Rinkaby, right? Not mainnet, but it is a testnet, right? Now, the last step to keep my NFT on sale is to click on the sell button. This will again require me to interact with the contract, right? So when I click on sell, I'm going to like different things, right? Fixed price or auction. And I can mention how much this NFT will cost, right? So I'm going to put something like 2 for ETH or something like $100. For 7 days, this sale would be open, right? And the service fee that this platform will take after from my sales is 2.5%. So of the 0.24 ETH, 2.5% will go to OpenSea, right? I say complete listing. Now to complete that, it requires me to do a transaction. I don't know if it is going to ask me to do it on testnet or no. Yeah, okay, it's asking. So now it says that this marketplace has some other requirements, like to set up for selling, I must initialize my wallet. So it will know that this is a wallet that it can trace and track eventually if there are any fraudulent activities or something. So you can say that there is a call called register proxy, right? And I'm going to say, okay, I want to go ahead and do this. And then the user has to approve this item for sale, because I own this NFT. So once the sale happens, the NFT will automatically go to the buyer, right? How does the automation happen, right? The automation happens when I tell the contract, or I approve the contract, that yes, go ahead and sell this on my behalf, right? So think of it in a, like in a sense, when we are selling some object, right? We are up, so when we put up some object for sale through a middleman, we say that, okay, I want to sell this object, and on my behalf, you can sell this to the highest buyer, right? That's what we are doing by approving. So here it asks me to sign a message, right? So I'm going to approve, and then it will confirm the listing, right? So now my item is listed for sale, right? So let's go. Yeah. So you can see that this particular item is listed for sale for the current price 0.24 ETH, right? Others who log in into this account can see that this particular item is set up for sale. And if they want to buy, they can click on buy now and pay 0.24 ETH and buy this particular NFT. So this is the whole NFT life cycle. There are also, just like OpenSea, you can also build your own marketplace, which is what many people are doing, because they want to charge different percentage of transaction fee. They want people to come to their marketplace and buy like this, right? Here I can just place a bid and I can buy, right? This is their own marketplace that they have created, right? So I can do that as well. It's up to me. So that's that for the demo. What I would like you all to do is, whenever you have some free time, explore the OpenSea platform and see what are the types of NFTs, and try out this demo for yourself so you're familiar with how this entire ecosystem works. The last but not the least is certain communities that you can follow to learn more about NFTs. So there are a lot of women-based NFT communities that are coming up, especially on Twitter. So there are Women Rise NFTs, World of Women NFT, and there are tons of women based NFT communities. You can even just go on Twitter and support these women based NFT communities, right? You can just follow their Twitter, see the activity. You don't have to actively invest, but you can see what they're doing and how they're building the community, how they're building the messaging around their community, right? And there is a lot of things going on Twitter regarding NFTs. There are a lot of Twitter spaces that happen. There is one that was just going on by an NFT women community, where they talk about the challenges in setting up a community, the challenges to mint NFTs, and the challenges to raise funds regarding NFTs. What are the different types of marketplaces? There's just one marketplace that I showed you, but there are multiple different types of marketplaces for different types of blockchains on which you want to utilize, right? On which you want to mint. So you can learn about these different types of marketplaces, and just keep reading on how, or just keep observing how people are trying to build a story around their NFT projects, because that is most important to keep your community engaged, right? And of course, what next? So that's pretty much that we had for NFTs. I told you it's a shorter session. We still took, like, I think 48 minutes, but it's not that intense. I think the concept is very light, it's very fun to play around with. What next? There was the next highest rated topic was DAOs. So we are going to talk about DAOs in the upcoming sessions. There are going to be more grants, bounties, and other opportunities. We are looking to pivot one NFT project within our guild itself. But we are thinking about what kind of storyline, and how to create that kind of community buzz around that. So if you are interested in that, if you're an artist, or you know certain digital artists who might be interested to join us, do feel free to reach out to them, get them added into our group, and we'll brainstorm something together. And one surprise that I had mentioned last yesterday for this weekend sessions is that we will be dropping NFTs for our community members soon. So we are working on getting that NFT set up. We'll be dropping our NFTs on Polygon very soon. So I will keep you folks informed, but that was a surprise. I thought the NFT would be ready by today, but everybody in our circle is slightly occupied, so we haven't got the final design from the artist, but it's going to happen soon. And yeah, last but not the least, we want to thank Ocean Protocol for giving us the grant and helping us kickstart this entire initiative. So thank you so much, and we hope to continue that. And yeah, thanks everybody for joining today. um, I know this weekend sessions were a bit of short notice. We generally want to at least keep the community informed a week or so before, so you can block your calendars. But this week, because many of us are traveling next week, it's becoming a bit packed for us, so it's slightly short notice, but hopefully we can do better communication and inform and well advanced from next session onwards. So yeah, that's that for today. um okay, all right, let me just check. Yeah, sure, Karen. We will be posting the recording on the group soon, so you can